We're taking a look at this horror anthology from Oni Press, Cruel Universe, Bizarre Tales of Time and Space. We're taking a look at this horror anthology from Oni Press, Cruel Universe. And the cover, sadly, has nothing to do with all three of the stories, but to be fair, that is often the case with horror anthologies. The cover was what grabbed me, though. It straight away made me think of The Colour Out of Space by H.P. Lovecraft. This was released as part of Oni Press's revival of EC. They have the actual proper EC brand now. EC were a juggernaut in the 50s. They did excellent genre comics and were, without a doubt, the leaders in the industry at the time. But due to censorship demands and the establishment of the Comics Code Authority, EC pivoted away from the mature stuff to focus on a humour mag called Mad Magazine. You might have heard of it. But within a couple of years, Mad was all that they were publishing, and EC themselves kind of petered out, and at best were milked for licensing and reprints for half of a century. At the same time as this, Oni Press have also begun co-publishing Archie books. It feels to me like Oni Press are on the verge of moving up the ladder. If they had a really hot contemporary license to complement the two historically significant giants, I think they would be in for a good few years. And no, Biker Mice from Mars is not a really hot contemporary license. In this, we have 3 stories by different creative teams. Here are our credits for them. The first one has 2 people you might know. We have Gregory Peck, one-hit wonder writer. He did Planet Hulk, and then a bunch of bad stories. And the art is by David Beckham. He was a famous footballer once upon a time, but now he writes and draws comics apparently. As a writer, he wrote that Age of Armageddon series that I reckon even he, the writer of it, would be surprised to learn that I think about Phoenix getting hit in the head with a teacup at least once every week. He also did some proper fucking trash, unbelievably bad comics. But I liked Age of Armageddon, and it was one of the last new Marvel books I ever did enjoy. This one is entitled Feature or Bug. And there's a squad of Marines. And here, they gun down a guy who is a bug creature thing. And as that guy dies, he is saying that he's just there to help. You see, we have a city that has quarantined itself. And there is this vague alien parasitic infection that threatens them. And these Marines are being bossed about by the mayor of the city. But when they return to the city itself, after they were sent to the borders to deal with that intruder, they find that the entire population have become like that. They have been infected. But the people are just going about their usual business as if things were normal. The squad realise that what they have to do is they have to take out the train because it's due in 5 minutes and these alien bugs could use it to spread further. And despite their best efforts, the squad fall to the superior force, and they too are absorbed into the alien bug hive. And then the ending is that the mayor, who has been unhelpful throughout, she made a deal with the big boss of the bug aliens to, in effect, surrender the city. Is it better than Planet Hulk? Of course not. But it's a simple premise for these sorts of books, and it's executed all right. Our second story is titled War Machines. And actually, the writer of the first story, Gregory Peck, wrote a terrible War Machine series. But this isn't by him. This is by a writer called Anthony Mauro, and I have not been able to find too many details about him online. All I've really reliably found is that he wrote and self-published a graphic novel called Salvation that was described as Mad Max meets The Stand. I feel like those are two things that are already fairly close, aren't they? Mad Max and The Stand. The artist for this is a name I recognised, but I don't know from where. Anyway, this one is The Political One. It's a story that people would get up in arms about because our day comics have political ideals. We have a guy called John. He is a drone pilot. He works from home as a drone pilot. And it's kind of saying exactly what you think it's saying about him being desensitised and the dehumanisation that drone pilots either experience or engage with. And in this case, John, he has completely stopped caring. He feels nothing for things. He doesn't feel anything about killing. And he doesn't even question what he is ordered to bomb. However, and this is a very expected twist, but it's completely in line with the genre and the type of comic. In the end, he bombs himself. He was so uninvested and unengaged by the act that he didn't even realise he was being told to bomb himself because they were liquidating their assets. I like this one, but I do feel like it's an idea that's maybe a bit too done nowadays. Like there was an Ethan Hawke movie, January Jones was in it, that's why I've seen it. And I've wanked over the bit of January Jones riding him about 17 times. I think that our final story is the most inventive and the one with the most to say, and definitely the most relevant, even more relevant than drone killings. And I think this is the one that I agree the most with, although I kind of also completely agree with the previous one. This is called Artificial Insanity, which is a terrible title that really cheapens it and lets you know exactly what it is going to be making a point about. This is written by one Amy Roy, Her credits are largely some of Oni's other EC books. And that is kind of it for her, it seems. Artist Malachi Ward, who, as you'll see, does some interesting work with this story. He does have some credits I thought were notable. He has done loads of Jeff Lemires, Black Hammer. He did covers for IDW Star Trek comics. And he's actually done artwork for a story in every issue of this Cruel Universe series. We have this kid, Billy, who from an early age became reliant on artificial intelligence in lieu of skills or talent. His entire life is based on AI doing things for him instead of him actually learning or achieving anything himself. He relies on AI. He wrote a book, but it was really written by AI. And then it was music. The AI made music. And then movies. And as you can see, as the story goes on, the art itself becomes shitter and shitter. I don't know how else to say it. It's intentional, obviously. The art for the story becomes as lifeless and ugly as AI. We even have those kind of ugly faces and smiles that you often get with AI. And the depressing notion that the majority of people will continue to embrace AI slop, and there's nothing we can do about it. The future is artless art by machine, because we as a species are predispositioned towards stupidity. Here's that AI comic that still pisses me off. I wanted to bring this up because I want to say how much I hate AI. I was modestly interested in AI back in the late 2010s. I liked seeing how AI was incapable of interpreting certain things. Like, I remember there were YouTube videos where it was like getting an AI to try and continue the song Seven Nation Army, and the second that it would switch from the actual song to what AI has generated, it would become abstract noise. When AI really became quite prevalent the last few years, the thing was that AI is something that could have been used to great benefit, but instead it is being used for the absolute worst things ever, as a substitute for artistry, as a means of misinformation, as a distraction. We need to seriously backtrack as a race and undo AI. It's not for the betterment of anyone or the world. It needs to stop. I cannot do anything about it, neither can you. But if you are watching this and you do use AI, if you ask ChatGPT for something, or you generate shit like this, stop. Please. I know AI is easy, and you probably aren't being malicious in your use of it, but you are unfortunately contributing in a small way to a big problem. AI's long-term effect is already apparent. People, as of now, don't care and engage with AI content oblivious to its nature, and that's within the space of only a few years. What's it going to be like in 10 or 20 years? There are reasons and excuses to use AI, but it's like 2%, maybe 3% of the current use of AI where it is justified or reasonable or sensible. We do not need to see shit like this. Some lazy idiot does not need access to something that cannot make a comic for him, but he is still expending massive resources in getting artificial intelligence to fail to make a comic. Either price everyone out of AI or find some way to get rid of it all. That was me condescending everyone about artificial intelligence. I am actually slightly curious if anyone in my audience is an avid user of AI, but I've already made it clear that I don't want you to be. AI is maybe the most appropriate thing to feature in a book called Cruel Universe. It's something that an individual is incapable of fighting because unfortunately the rest of the world doesn't seem to care. Enough about AI. The stories here were, I think, a decent mix of ideas. Maybe stories 2 and 3. They are a bit too similar in terms of them both involving technological apathy. But I like that extra step took with the last story to have the art get progressively worse. I've basically given away all 3 stories here, so I cannot recommend it. But I did enjoy the experience I have had here. I'll give it 7 thumbs up and hope that one day AI is prohibited and that more laws are passed on a global scale. If you think that would be an infringement on your rights, fuck off and go wank over your 6-fingered naked pictures of Jennifer Lawrence. I'll stick to January Jones pretending to ride Ethan Hawke, thank you.